Warden, I did warn you about the stone in these parts. Human masons will use whatever's at hand, but for proper walls, you need proper stone. The nearest quarry has some miserable slate nonsense. I need proper granite. The darker the better. I don't suppose, you know, in your travels... I'll be here. Don't tarry too long. Got a wall to rebuild.
I've watched you fight, Sigrun. The Legion of the Dead trains its people well.
Oh, they taught me a few tricks, but I was fighting long before then.
Oh. You fought in Orzamar's army?
Fighting for scraps of food, for a place to sleep, for survival.
Oh, I didn't mean...
It's all right. You're a noble.
You arranged for quite the welcome for us, didn't you, Commander? Not that I mind. Gave me a chance to do some proper testing. Oh, kind of you to notice. That was my work. The name is Dworkin Glavenok. Some call me Dworkin the Mad. That don't ruffle my beard, though. You have to be a little mad in my line of research. I developed these particular formulations. It's the Kunari who perfected the art. That just gets in my craw. Sullen, ashen-skinned giants shouldn't be allowed to outsmart dwarves. So, I've been conducting experiments on lyrium sand and other volatile ingredients. If you got a mind to, aye. We used up all the explosives on those darkspawn. I can make more, but I'm out of lyrium sand. Lyrium dust is all over the place, but that's too fine. Dust's good for fuses, but not the boom I'm looking for. With real lyrium sand, I can set the lads to work. I'll be careful. Careful-ish.
Seneschal Verrill has been looking for you. Please go to the throne room.
Just give me a moment.
Commander, the men cleared the rubble. You'll have to see what they found for yourself. I'll do that, Commander.
Commander, we need to talk. Dreams. You get them? This is a Grey Warden thing, huh? Why didn't anyone tell me? Can't imagine he has anything interesting to say. In my dream, I saw one of those bloated, vomit-smeared brood mothers, and it had Hespeth's face. You remember Hespeth, don't you? Bronca was there and whispered, "It's time." And Hespeth screamed and 1,000 darkspawn burst from her. Then the darkspawn surrounded me and started talking, asking me if I would like lemon in my tea. And could I please teach them to read and write? And then one of them kept repeating, "Where's the baby?" And that's when I woke up. Usually they accuse me of the opposite. Thanks for listening, Commander.
All rise. The Warden Commander and Liege Lord of all Amaranthine enters. I've held it off as long as I could, but you hold the right of high justice on your land. Certain matters of court must be decided. By custom, the claimants make their case to you. I'll advise you after, then you rule. The Seneschal of the Vigil can hold court as well, if the Arl commands it. Lady Liza Pacton demanded this audience, quite loudly. Be seated. The Warden Commander will first hear the matter of the Crown against the sheepherder Alec.
On behalf of the Crown, I submit that Alec stole 2 bushels of grain bound for the garrison in Amaranthine. When confronted by soldiers, he confessed. The punishment for theft from the Crown is death by hanging.
What say you, Alec?
My sheep were slaughtered by the Darkspawn. My family was starving. I asked for mercy. Commander, mercy.
The poor bugger. Had he stolen from anyone besides the Crown, he'd escape with a flogging.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is a serious matter. Danella, a soldier of the Vigil, abandoned her post and was caught 3 leagues away. She is charged with desertion. Even if it were not a time of war, the penalty would be death.
I asked the old captain several times to release me from my oath. The Darkspawn are too near my family's farm. They need me, my lord. I'm no coward.
You dishonor everyone who serves the Vigil. You think you are alone in having family under threat.
The men are afire over this one. Danella is an accomplished scout, but desertion could destroy the army.
I won't forget this, Commander. I'll be back. You have my word.
Mercy is a fine thing, but armies are held together by discipline.
The next matter is of a civil nature. Lady Liza Pacton is the sovereign of Terns Down.
I prefer to speak for myself. The old Arl Rendenhar made certain promises to me. Some of these he committed to paper. I was given the right to the incomes of the Southern Bridge.
And what part did you take in Hal's conspiracies, Liza? To get such a fruitful prize. I am Sir Darren, and it is my land she seeks. Taken from me because I was one of the few nobles who stood against Tern Logain.
Commander, Sir Darren is an ally, and Amaranthine has precious few who support you wholeheartedly.
If there's any hope of persuading more nobles to your cause, you must be fair-minded.
Ban Esmerel will hear of this.
The commander has spoken. The matter is resolved. This session of the Arling's court is over. And Maker help me. I hope the next one is easier than this. Commander. Oh, I hope they fare better than Sir Myrene. I'll make the preparations. From this moment forth, Sigrun, you are a Grey Warden.
Then let it be.
You chose her well, Commander. She will wake shortly.
It's much easier fighting Darkspawn on the surface. On a clear day, you can see for leagues. I once heard about a contraption known as a spyglass, I think it is called. My friend Barlin said they let you see distant enemies as though they were right beside you. Is that true? It sounds like magic. Then they must be the cleverest people in Thedas. In the deep roads, the Darkspawn can appear from nowhere. A spyglass sounds the very opposite. Someday, while I'm still on the surface, I would like to look through one.
Yes.
Yes.
Sigrun, I understand how difficult surviving poverty can be. When I came back from the Free Marches, I had nothing. No money, no family. Nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
You have my respect for surviving what you did.
I didn't survive. Legion of the Dead, remember?
Oh.
twitching, so much shiny. I know better than to nick any of this. I was just remembering. Growing up castless in Dusttown, we took what we could get, when we could get it. But that doesn't excuse what I was. A thief and a lying rotten duster.
Hot. You know it.
Let's move along before the temptation becomes too great. I've only so much self-control.
Delilah? Is that really you?
Nathaniel! I had feared the worst.
Times must have been hard, Delilah. But you can do better than this. Come back to the estate until we find somewhere else.
What? Oh, Nathaniel, I didn't marry Albert out of desperation. I adore him. I was so glad to get away from Father's evil. This life is so much better.
Father's evil? Isn't that overstating things a little? He got caught up in politics.
You weren't here. You didn't see what he did, Nathaniel. You want the culprit who destroyed our family? It was him, without question.
I had no idea.
Of course you did. But you always worshipped Father, right from when you were a little boy. Come, brother, let us sit and catch up a bit, shall we?
She said she wants me to come back. Once all this is done. Meet her husband. She's due by the spring. She seems happy. She said Father deserved to die. I still can't believe it. I thought he had his reasons. It was a war for Andraste's sake. Before I went to the Free Marches, he was never... How could he have changed so much? What if I'd never left? I didn't have much choice, but still. I wish I'd known some of this sooner. I feel like such a fool. Now please, let's get back to our business. I need to think. I think I can help with that.
You know, when your father took over the Jarl of Denerim's palace, he moved his bedroom next to the dungeon.
What are you talking about?
Sounds like someone liked to nip down for a bit of torture before bedtime.
Delilah did say that Father had begun indulging his darker side.
Hey, everyone needs daddy issues. Just trying to help.
I got a sore on my foot from working...
Something I can do for you, friend? Just darkspawn raids outside the city. Everyone's keeping close to Amaranthine. And who are you supposed to be that's asking? An elf? Yes, of course. Haven't seen that fellow Kristof for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while. Not much. He chatted up Sorsha a bit when she brought him his dinner. Maybe talked to her. Of course. Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
No!
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger? Yes, I remember him. You'll want to speak to my boss over at the bar.
We should rise up.